G'day guys, welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. Today we're going to go through the Cowboys' best 17, and as I know some of you out there hate it when I do them on my own, so I've brought in a recruit today, one of the biggest Cowboys found around. He's actually been hitting the gym too. Have a look at him, he's absolutely flying. Donatello, welcome in.
How are you? Just want to give a quick shout out to that Dolphins fan. I don't know what happened. I got flown down. Guru's putting me up. You guys will learn very quickly, though. Maybe it is better for Guru to do these on his own once we get halfway through this and you switch it off.
Yeah, we had a little hot mic incident the other day, which I didn't realise for like 48 hours. And on reflection, I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
so,
I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, shout out to NRL Physio, Brian, the only Dolphins fan I know, and I will not be flying you in. Unlucky.
Which is rough because, yeah, like I say, first class from Townsville. I'm very lucky.
Very, very lucky, yeah, for sure. Mate, big few months for you, just quietly. Good afternoon.
It's all happening. I've just moved up to the Ville,
to
Townsville, started a Brekkie radio show.
The Ville.
The Ville. That's what our casino's up there is called, by the way.
That's great.
It's called the Ville. It's like the most nice building there, the casino, of course. But so I've switched late nights of editing to early mornings of getting up. 4:30 a.m. starts at the station. I love it though. Brekkie radio. I love my own voice. Now I get to do it for a living. It's good fun.
You just reminded me of something, and I understand they're not the same place. Leave me alone, you two-headed freaks up there. But when I was in Cairns for the live show a couple of months ago, I didn't get a chance to go to the casino.
Yeah.
But I remember I'm having flashbacks now to a drunken argument with a guy who told me that. Have you been to the Cairns casino?
No, I haven't. I don't like Cairns. Cairns can get bent.
I actually quite enjoyed Cairns, to be fair, but he tried to tell me, he was trying to convince me that the Cairns casino doubled as a zoo.
Now, that could mean a few things. You could unpack that a few ways. You could be observing the people of Cairns in the casino in their natural habitat. It'd be very interesting. But a zoo.
Yeah, he's like trying to convince me that you can be playing blackjack and there could be a lion like 3 foot from you behind glass and shit. And I was like,
did you tell him you were from Sydney?
But then I looked around the town and I was like, oh, maybe.
Did you say you're from Sydney?
Yeah. Well,
that'll be what it is.
Yeah.
That'll be what it is. Just trying to fuck with you.
Anyway, I don't know how we got there.
But no, it's good. It's living in Cowboys country. I can see the stadium from my Brekkie radio studio in the morning. So I'm ingrained now. Someone that I'd never been to Townsville my whole life before I moved there. Yeah. Went up there to do a demo. Obviously went and met JT's statue. Not JT, that's still coming, I'm sure, one day. Met JT's statue and I was sold and I moved up there. But it's crazy being in a town. Like the Broncos, obviously living in Brisbane my whole life, massive, obviously the biggest thing in town, but not the only thing in town. Like there's other professional sports. Suncorp's obviously the mecca, but being in a one club town is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's
like
wild.
There's posters everywhere of the boys, billboards of the boys. Everybody's talking about the Cowboys all the time. So hopefully that's rubbed off a little bit before this.
Pretty impressive. They got a statue of Jason Taylor up there.
Yeah, no, Jason Tamalolo. Before he got his captaincy strip, they put it up.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the captaincy strip?
Wild. Okay, I love Cotter. I love Dearden.
Yeah.
Combined, I think they have about 140 games, 130 games. Jace up at 260 on his own. Add in Chatty. That's a lot of experience. I like it.
I
don't want to go off the deep end here, but I have a lot of thoughts about Cowboys camp this year. Like a lot of thoughts. Not negative. I love the Cowboys, obviously. There's just a few things that have happened that make me nervous as a Cowboys fan. Last year, all the pressure on the boys, everyone had them dead last year before. Now, all of a sudden, they're winning premierships. The to and fro there is mental. Like to go from they're going to come dead last to they're going to win the Prem. No one wants to stay in the middle. Obviously, a game out of the 8, not good. This year, it's like everyone thinks they're shit again. But a few things have happened. Obviously, the captaincy has happened. The Felty stuff at the end of last year has happened. The Blackhawks no longer affiliated with the Cowboys. That's crazy to me. I walked in here. Some people don't even know that happened. The Blackhawks and the Cowboys are like ebony and ivory. It's like they're just meant to be together. I can't make any sense of how they couldn't come to an agreement. So now we're in a situation where if someone gets dropped, they go on a Mackay or the Pride, which it's not that never happened, but like if Felty gets dropped, he's going to go play for the Blackhawks, right? Which is down the road, not an 8-hour car ride round trip away. It's pretty mental. So the stakes of getting dropped in Cowboys camp now, I feel they're higher than they've ever been. I just do, 'cause first of all, who wants to go to Mackay? No offense, Mackay, but to do it like I think you might be able to get a plane down there. I think like one a day on Bonza if you're lucky.
Yep.
If you miss the flight, you're driving. I think the mad chat with Semi and Felty, who's going to get that wing spot, is dangerous based on the fact that Felty is so close to two massive milestones that if he doesn't get to hit, I feel dominoes. I feel like that is mate. He's 3 tries off Matty's all-time record, right? Matty Bond's all-time record. He's 8 games off 200.
Yep.
If he doesn't hit those, and Jason Tamalolo's not the captain anymore, yikes.
Considering I asked you 8 minutes ago what your thoughts were on the captaincy choices, that was fucking wild.
I've been thinking about this so much. There's not much to do in Townsville.
God.
Like, it's crazy. I just do not agree.
You answered every question except the one I asked.
Okay, but the captaincy, yeah, I love Dearden and Cotter. They're guns. They're Queensland greats.
Jesus Christ.
But you like it?
Yeah, I do like it, yeah, without opening a can of worms about everything else above the border. I do like it. I'm obviously a big Cotter guy. I think Dearden's your future. So, yeah, I'm a fan of it.
I always find it I feel like it's a very interesting position given somewhat of reportedly, allegedly rocky, tenuous relationship with Toddy and Jace. I always find it weird when a player loses captaincy while they're playing still, especially when they're so close to retirement. Like, Jace still has a few years in him, but he's close to retirement, right?
Yeah.
And still, in my opinion, if the Cowboys are going good, that's because Jace is going good and playing good footy. So I find it very interesting. And, like, I love Tom Dearden. If you're behind the goalposts with 5 minutes to go, not that Jace isn't going to step up and say something, but who's going to get you more fired up? Is it the Deer or is it Jace?
Fair. But I don't think that, like, Jason all of a sudden stops talking.
Yeah, that's very
Like,
true.
I also don't really think that much changes. I just think they're getting themselves ready for the future.
Yeah.
So
do you think
I
it's
don't
like
hate
way
it.
more symbolic than anything else?
I
Symbolic
think so,
than anything else? Yeah.
I mean, is Chad going to stop talking and directing the side around? Is Jason going to stop being a leader?
The question I have is we're going to get into the 17, obviously. I have Jason in my 17, spoiler, but I think we live in a world where he might not be in the starting 13. I
don't hate that. Yeah.
I think definitely we live in a world where Jace is getting dropped to the bench this year, where Felty doesn't start the year, and where Jake Clifford comes in after round 8. I literally think that we could be living in that world. I think Todd Payton's not like, he's a lovely fella.
Yeah.
But I think he's in a results-driven business, and I've got a lot of attachment to these players, right? Not Chad as much, like, even though he seems lovely. I'm a big Chad guy, obviously.
Big Chad guy.
But I think if you look at our opening draw, I mean, I'd love to get into like how it's all going to play out because I have a bit of a tinfoil hat theory about it. But I literally think come round 8, the Cowboys are either going to be flying or in absolute sham. I don't think that there's a middle ground.
Run me through your tinfoil hat theory.
Okay. Felty, he's 3 tries off the record. I think he hits it in Townsville, round 5 against the Titans.
Yeah.
Okay. Then round 8 is Penrith versus Cows at home. So the Cows only have 2 games out of their first 7 at home. That's brutal. So I think...
Wow.
Yeah, it's brutal. And then to the homecoming games against fucking Penrith, right? So I think they have a rough start on the road.
Yep.
Felty does get his 130 tries at home. I think he plays his 200th game against Penrith, round 8 at home.
Yep.
The Cows get pumped and Felty rides off into the sunset. That's my tinfoil hat theory.
I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I really think the draw at the start of the season, the teams that we're coming up against aren't insane. But, mate, you're playing that far away from home. Obviously, in this heat, probably not the worst thing. But you get 2 out of your first 7 games at home. That's brutal. And it doesn't matter how you cut it.
I do recall, was it last year you had like just about a dream run for the first 10 weeks? And
really made good use of that.
Yeah, we blew the whole thing, Yeah, mad.
That's my tinfoil hat theory. So I think Felty starts the season.
Yeah.
But I think by round 8, semi.
Yeah, interesting. Hey, what's your thoughts on the Townsville Blackhawks?
I love the Blackhawks.
I'm joking. Shut the fuck up. I did not want to hear that again.
Love Terry Campese. Love Jimmy
It was a lot to
Tomo.
consume. All right, let's get into the 17.
Yeah.
Okay. At fullback, Scotty Drinkbloke picks himself there.
Yep.
I think that think he finished in the top 3 or 4 for the Dally M last year.
Top 5 last year, top 4 the year before.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely warming. From memory, he started the season pretty slow last year, but the second half of his season was unbelievable. We've got some, I believe we're doing some hot takes a little bit later today, which might already be out. And I think Scotty Drinkwater could feature.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that Drinky, there's not many guys in this competition that are more central to their team than Scott Drinkwater is. Everything flows through him. He's quickly become one of my favourite players in this competition to watch, an absolute superstar.
I love Drinky. Silky hands, bit of speed. He's not the fastest guy on the planet, bit of speed. Just needs, like, as everyone on the Cows, just needs a little bit of tinkering around defence. And he could be anything. There I go. There's my one and only.
Watch yourself.
There's the one and only. I got it in early.
Wingers. Valamay.
Yeah.
I genuinely, an egg all over my face, I have probably never been more wrong about someone. I did not think he was a first grader when you signed him.
Yeah.
When he left Canberra, I thought, why on earth would they sign him? We get to the end of the season. I thought for the back end of last year, he was one of the better wingers in the competition.
Absolutely.
He was sensational. You got Murray Tuilong on the other side. Kyle Felt's the other name that gets thrown up there. I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for saying this off you, but I would be leaving Kyle Felt out of that side.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I think the other two are better footballers. I think Kyle Felt defensively has had issues throughout his entire career. There is no doubt about it. He comes up with tries in big moments. He has done it on many of occasions. But coming out of my own end, I want the other two. Surely you couldn't possibly have Felt over Murray, right?
No. Murray picks himself. That left side is it's done.
Sure. And as I said, mate, I wouldn't have had Valamay in my Monday night Oz tag team 6 months ago. Now, I genuinely think he's one of the better wingers in the comp. I think he got a lot of raps last year. I don't think he got enough raps.
I think, he definitely. Well, everyone up north kind of flies under the radar a bit. It's just how it happens.
Yes, yeah, agreed. Yeah.
And I think honestly, that's how people get to these they either the Cows are going to win the league or they're going to come dead last, is because no one really watches them. That's just the fact.
I can guarantee you, no one down here is telling me they're going to win the league.
Well, last year they were. There was
last
a few
year,
premiership contenders.
Yes.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I literally, it sounds so dumb in such a results-driven business to say I keep Felty in as a personality pick. What he means to the city, what he means to the rest of the squad. Yep. I think no one is owed anything in rugby league. You earn everything. I just think to start the season, the way that he came back at the back end of last year. I mean, the guy still scored 13 tries in 18 games last year.
Oh, he was really good. Yeah.
And I think he ran for the most meters he ever has in since 2017, which we don't even talk about that yet. And then I think he came back on fire. I just think he's owed to round 1. I think he's owed to round 3.
My recollection of last year when he played, I remember sitting on bloke going, geez, Kyle Felt's playing good footy. But I still don't think he's playing at the level of Valamay, which is really unfair and harsh.
Yeah.
And sure, maybe he is owed. Maybe I don't understand what he means to the area and whatnot. But I also don't think it's ever a bad decision to pick the best footballer at the time or the most informed footballer at the time.
I think it's also important to remember I look at the globe through 2015 tinted glasses.
I know you do.
So
yes. But look, regardless, great position to be in.
Yeah.
Depth in those positions is fantastic. If you have an injury and you have to bring in Kyle Felt, how bloody good. You're flying. Centres, Val Holmes fixed himself.
Yep.
I hated the move to centre originally. Now he's probably my favourite centre in rugby league.
It's because he's the best centre in the league.
He's right up there with them. For me, I genuinely think he's right up there with them. I love Val. I don't think he's utilised overly well in North Queensland a lot of the time. That shits me to no end. But Val's one centre. The other centre, I've got 2 guys for this spot.
Ooh.
Labart, who I think is the obvious first choice. I think he will be like one. But he's always been a little CBA of mine. Valea, that you've got from the New Zealand Warriors.
He's doing reps in centre.
I have no doubt he will be.
Yeah.
He is a guy that if you are one of these 4 outside backs and you get injured, you don't want to give this kid an opportunity. I really like him.
Tell me a bit about him. I'm not super well versed.
Yeah, so I think he's very raw. Let's start there. Very raw.
But so Zach.
he's rawer than Zach,
Right.
in my opinion. He's rawer than Zach. But he's probably played more first grade games than Zach, to be fair, I would say. But he was one that was at the New Zealand Warriors. Peter O'Sullivan discovered him when he was like 16, 17. Went to war with the All Blacks to get that signature, managed to get him. He's played a few first grade games now, I'd say 25 odd, maybe less. He's got errors in him. He's got misreads in him. But you can just see that there is something special there.
Yep.
And I think that eventually he's got genuine star potential in the NRL.
Right, okay.
But I've also been very high on Labutt for a long time.
Yeah.
The Labutt family in general, by the way.
Okay.
Once again, great position to be in. I would love to see Toddy throw that centre jersey in between the two of them and go best man wins. But Valia is definitely one that I would be watching very closely in trials, especially after the confidence I get from seeing what you did with Semi when he arrived up there last year.
Semi also doing a few reps at centre.
That's an interesting talking point. I hadn't considered that.
Like he's been doing obviously he's probably third in line, but he has been getting reps in at centre, which is interesting. It's just the Cowboys right now is like, other than there's like probably 4 guaranteed positions, and everyone else is in this big pit that's just spinning.
It's pretty much your spine is locked in and guaranteed. Val. And then outside of that, it pretty is open slather, isn't it? Maybe Cotter. All right, let's move to... Is there any other centres, wingers you want to touch on there?
Not really. Obviously there's always kids coming through.
Yeah.
But I think that's really who it's between. I lock in Labutt and Felt.
Yep.
I think that's how you start the season. But, mate,
So you're not picking Valamay?
It could be... No. I take Felty.
Oh, that's fucking bold. Okay. Halves. Chatty T picks himself. Big halfback guy. 60, Tommy Dearden, the new co-captain. Obviously, Chad Townsend coming to the back end of his career. Do you think this will be the final year for Chad?
I think so. He's off contract at the end of the year. So's Felty, by the way.
You got fucking stocks in Kyle Felt or what?
Yeah, I do. But do you think... I don't really love... I think it's good that Jake Clifford's there, but I don't think... I think people are confused and think that Jake's still 23 years old. Like, he's 26 now.
He's 26 years old.
Like, he's not this young prospect anymore. Like, I got time for Jake Clifford, but I don't think he's putting pressure on Chad Townsend like people are assuming he is.
Oh, I don't think he's putting pressure on Chad, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are grooming him next year to come into the halves.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know he's young, but I really like Tom Duffy, the halfback. I'm a big fan of him. But I think I see the future being Dearden in the 7. Where do you see on that? Yeah,
I mean, unless in some crazy world those rumours about Ben Hunt moving up north come true, which we can hope and pray. Yeah, I think he'll have to. I mean, I can't believe he signed till 2029. Has anyone even thought of the year 2029 before he signed? Like, he is locked in. So I guess he has to be the 7.
Yeah, I don't like long deals like that for forwards. And for me, I think this Tamalolo deal is a good example why I don't like doing that. But I like it for a guy like him, who's with the potential he's got. I love Tommy Dearden. I think it's a really good get by the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's a massive get. It's just, I'd hate for him to just, because like you can just fade off into obscurity up there. They need, like, when Chad goes, I think this team is young enough and good enough now to have a good halves pairing and really do something and really have a crack. So when Chad leaves to replace... What's that face?
No, are you trying to tell me that you would consider not picking Chad?
No. But I'm just saying, like, I'll take Chad this year. Yeah. But this idea that Jake's coming in next year is a bit scary to me. Like, if that's the plan,
okay,
I'm not in love with it. But I can see a world where if I'm saying, like, when the old guard, if they get their knickers in a knot, so to speak, based on the fact of people not getting picked, captaincies getting stripped. Like, Chad's technically, like, he's not really old guard, but he's like, what am I doing if I get, like, he's a professional, but I can see, like, if Jake's there and Todd's not afraid of dropping anyone. I can see a world where Jake comes into the team at some point in the year.
Yeah, and I don't think Chad would be pissed off by that or annoyed by that, to be honest. So I reckon he's at the point in his career where I personally think that Toddy would have sat down with Jason and Chad and said, "Hey, we're looking to the future." I think he would have handled it pretty well,
right,
from the outside looking in. But it is an interesting way to look at it. Chad and Dearden in the halves. Let's get into the forward pack. Justin McLean. It's been a weird career for Justin McLean.
200 games.
Has he played 200
games?
Wow.
Isn't that something?
And full credit to him, he's never been below a 7. He's probably never been above an 8, but he's just done a job the entire time. It was heartbreaking when he couldn't play for the Blues.
Yep.
Was that last year or the year before?
Year before.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking stuff. So Jesse McLean in the front row, yeah?
Yep.
The other front row forward, you got Ruben Cotter written down here.
Technically Ruben Cotter. Technically speaking, it's Ruben Cotter because Jace has a trademark on the number 13. So
yes. Yeah, don't get me started.
It's so weird. So number 10 will be Cotter.
Whatever, sure. Cotter in the middle forwards. Reece Robson at 9. My question to you, do you keep Reece Robson playing 80 minutes the entire year? Do you... Obviously, Jake Granville sits on the bench every week, but he seemingly never gets to play hooker, which I don't have a huge problem with. What I do have a problem with is if it's worth Reece Robson playing 80 minutes in 35-degree heat.
It can't be in 2024. Who else is doing that? Where are the 80-minute hookers?
Blake Brayley, a couple of others, but I don't know.
It can't be worth it. Granville is still... He's off contract at the end of the year.
Yep.
He can still come in and play a bit of hooker. And a few times last year, they let him have a bit of a break.
Did they? Yeah.
A few times, not many.
Yep.
But I don't know why he's playing 80, which is weird from Todd because the first thing he did when he showed up to Townsville was stop Jace playing 80 minutes to save him.
Yeah.
So the idea that Robson's still playing 80 is a bit bizarre.
But I do...
He's fit enough.
He's fit enough, yeah.
And he's good enough. Is he your New South Wales hooker this year?
If he's not, he's probably my 14. But it'll be interesting because I think that without going into a State of Origin chat, I think that Madge is won a comp with Appy. I think Appy will be there.
Jeez, though, that was 2014, wasn't it?
Oh, sure, but it's not like Appy's not a good player.
I mean, here I am talking about 2015.
I mean, he's won 2 comps in the last 3 years. He's not a bad hooker.
Yeah.
So, I think either Robson or Cookie will probably get that 14 spot. That's if they go.
Well, that's if they don't pick Cook at centre.
Yeah, fair. That's good gear, that. All right, let's move to the back row. Interesting. Nanai and Leilua. I'm not saying I disagree. You have got a number of options to go with.
So many, man. It could be anyone.
We were talking on Bloke yesterday, one of the 7 hours of our show, about Leilua. I prefer him on the edge. Some of the other boys, I think, preferred him as a middle.
Okay.
I definitely think he's an edge player, though.
Man, explosive. He was a revolution when he rocked up to Townsville. He's got game breaking in him.
Yep.
And I think it's, I mean, I hate saying, is he a strike or whatever, but him on one side and Nano on the other, you're dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
You are dangerous.
Yep. So they are your 2 starting front row, starting edges there, and then you got Taumalolo in jersey 13.
Playing prop.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Now, Leilua and Nanai. If you weren't going to go with them, I really like this Finay Fuiaki.
Yes.
You probably know more than me, but I look at him, I think he's just an out-and-out edge as well.
Yes.
You've got him on the bench here. I was actually looking at Timmy Williams' team yesterday, and I'm going to try and get that up because he didn't have Finay Fuiaki in his side.
Okay.
And I remember thinking, how could you not have him in the team? And then I looked at the team that Tim had picked, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Their depth is just unreal. The other names you've got there are Griffin Neame and Cohen Hess. You've gone for a 3-forward bench, Neame and Hess as your middles, and Finay Fuiaki, you'd be using him just wherever.
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
What if whoever goes down, whoever needs a break? Because I think he's still young enough to mould into whatever you want him. He's big enough.
He's definitely big enough.
Big enough to play through the middle, but on an edge, he's pretty deadly.
So the one that's missed there is Helam Lukey.
Yeah. Which could be like, it's so hard because I have so much time for Lukey.
Helam Lukey could equally start in the back row and miss the 17.
Isn't that mad?
But I personally think he's in front of Fine Fuiaki.
Yeah, but you know what it is? It's like having a new toy. Like you want to see him play. Like, not that Lukey's like been around for years, but it's like, I want to see what this kid can do. So who misses out? And you go, well, it can't be Griff. And it probably can't be Hesse.
Yeah.
So I guess it's Lukey, but then you want Lukey on the field. Mate, the depth of forwards at the Cows is ridiculous.
It is, yeah, it's good. I'm not sure if Toddy Payton subscribes to the new toy theory when picking his side. I probably think Fine Fuiaki will miss the starting 17 if the best 17 if they are all full strength. Other guys, Jermaine Tanua-Brown got injured the other day, I believe.
He did. I don't know what it was, but it's lengthy.
Lengthy, yeah. Jack Goz.
It's just, he probably has a spot in other teams. But there's just, I remember you saying that you weren't a massive fan of him last year.
Yeah. I'm not massive on him. He does a good job, but I do think he's a little bit overhyped.
Off the bench, again, is a nice little injection.
Yeah.
But there's just so many mouths to feed.
Tell you who I do like that you've signed that I don't know if he'll ever get game time or not, but you got him from the Titans, Sammy McIntyre.
Again.
Handy.
Yeah. But like, which, you know what the craziest thing is about the amount of depth the Cows have? How we're able to lean on the fact that we had injuries last year and we didn't go well.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So I don't, because everyone talks about the Cows and they say, they're so injured, and then we're all saying how much depth we have.
Depth they've got, yeah.
So I don't really know how it works.
It's a good forward pack though.
I think
Think it's a top 8 forward pack?
I think it's a top 4 forward pack.
You think it's the top 4 forward pack in the competition?
I think it can be.
Okay.
I think back to 2022.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, how many people have come in and out of that squad since 2022? Sweet fuck all. It's been the same squad for 2 years now, and they've almost made a grand final and then missed the 8.
Okay, here's a question for you. And I feel like you're going to get offended, and that's fine. If I was in charge of the North Queensland Cowboys, I think I would be starting to look around the room on Taumalolo's contract.
I get it. I definitely get it. It's so hard. Okay, so he just can't stay out there.
Yep.
If you look at his numbers, I think over the last 4 years, right, he's played over 20 games once. That season, we went to a prelim. Every other year, he played like 16 or 15 games. So it's hard because when he's playing good, we will be in the finals. But is there too many Ks in the legs? And who's going to pick up the contract?
Also, what is playing good? Because a couple of years ago, I would have said, you know what? He is so dominant through the middle, I'm willing to pay him $1 million. And I hate paying forwards $1 million. I don't care who you are. I wouldn't pay Payne Haas $1 million. I hate it. But he was so dominant a couple of years ago, I could make an argument for it. I'm not convinced Taumalolo is going to get back to his absolute best. And it makes sense. As he gets older, he shouldn't be able to do what a 24-year-old at his absolute peak is able to do. It's just reality. Why I hate these long-term deals. Yeah. And you mentioned before that, Toddy has tried to limit his minutes and whatnot. And I think Toddy's tried to limit his minutes because he's looked at his contract and gone, holy fuck, I've got 6 years left here. I can't keep him fit in year 5. I'm going to have to try and manage this. And I think he's tried to turn him into a bit of a ball-playing forward, which to Taumalolo's credit, jokes aside, I think it has improved his ball-playing a little bit. But I just – the bigger problem, which you just brought up, is who's going to take the contract though. Yeah. That's the massive issue.
If you get to a situation where, like, really – okay, the Cowboys are going to pay him $1 million for the next 2 years. That just is what it is, okay? How much can you pay Jace at another club? Yeah. And then as the Cowboys, is it worth paying for Jason Taumalolo if he's not going to be there? At the end, and as a business, Jason Taumalolo sells memberships and jerseys.
Yep.
So it's like, how much of your contract are you going to eat to watch him go and play somewhere else?
Yeah, but I mean, when you're talking $1 million a season,
yeah,
like if you can pay $200K to get him to go and play at the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Do you reckon they'd pay him 800?
I wouldn't pay him $1 million, but
Yeah.
if you have a look at Canterbury, we were joking yesterday. I don't think I'm far from getting a call up in the front row for the Bulldogs. They are desperate. If they have one injury in the preseason, if I was the Cowboys, I'd be getting on the horn. I'd be going, you've got a premier front row forward here. You've got a leader as well. You need leaders. We probably don't. We've got heaps. You guys could really do with one.
So how does it look for you then, Jace, out of the 17 in that situation? Who comes in? So Cotter obviously gets
Cotter
a 13 on his back.
You could start Hess. You could,
then
use
Lukey
Lukey,
and
whatever it is.
Finawaki.
But it could also free up $800K to go and get someone.
Yeah.
And you know what? I look at the rest of your squad and I go, do you really need someone?
Yeah.
Like, you're actually not short anywhere.
Probably get a pretty tidy halfback for $1 million.
Well, yeah, 800, whatever it might be, however much you're going to chip in for Canterbury. But I also I don't mind. I think that Dearden as halfback, you can be successful with him, with a Clifford or someone next to him, I personally think. Because I think Dearden's going to really come into some dominant years over the next few seasons.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be... I do think this season is either going to be amazing and rainbows or a fucking grind with a bit of controversy around the club. Like just people hanging on, people not hanging on, people getting cut. Because when you make decisions like that to cut someone like Jace, it's just there's no other way to cut it. It's a bit, like dropping his minutes was a big deal.
Yeah.
A massive deal.
So is he like a big cultural thing up there to the people?
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
I mean, 2015 is a big cultural thing up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've only got a few left. Like Jakey Granville.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Last year, I said, what's doing? But he proved me wrong last year. He fucking played out of his skin. But like, if Felt didn't score in the corner that night, like, there's a few blokes where you go, does the Cowboys look like the Cowboys looks right now?
Yeah, it's interesting. As you said, Cowboys are so far away and we hear so little out of them that maybe I underappreciate Jason Taumalolo's importance up there.
Massive deal up there.
But I also...
And he's from there.
Yeah.
So
I just don't think...
I know down here in Sydney you got 60-odd clubs and everyone gets cut and moves around, but up there we're built a bit different. We get it up there, you know?
I just don't know if you can... I can underappreciate his worth, but geez, $1 million is just...
Like, to be honest, I get it, but when I hear the words, maybe Jason Taumalolo can go to the Bulldogs, my skin kind of crawls. Like, the idea of him not retiring as a Cowboy makes me a little bit sick.
Does the idea of in 3 years' time, when Taumalolo's older and probably got more injuries and you're still paying $1 million though?
So how long's left on the deal? I thought it was only 2 years.
Is it only 2 years? I thought it was 3.
If it's 3, that does make it a bit hard. Because he's 31
though,
now.
Man. Like, it's... Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a shit conversation to have. It's an awkward conversation to have, but I think it is one that the Cowboys need to seriously consider. Mate, he's on contract until 2027.
Okay.
It's 4 more years, including 2020. It's 24, 25, 26, 27.
You got to pray that's...
It's almost half a decade away, and we're worried about how many minutes he's going to play in 24 at age 31.
All we can do is pray that's a front-loaded contract. Yeah,
it's a tough spot.
It's very tough. It's very tough because obviously the optimist in me says, "Oh, yeah, Jace can go back to but obviously he's 31 now. So that puts him at 35 on, even if it is a hectically front-loaded contract, 750, 800 a year.
He's 30 years old now, still.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very interesting. Big year for the Cows. Give me a bracket of 4 spots on the ladder. Where do they finish?
4th to 8th.
4th to 8th?
I think it's that the names that we just read out in that pack and the amount of rep players that the Cowboys have, it doesn't make sense to me how that team isn't a top 8 team. I understand. They came where they came last year. They missed the 8-by-1 game.
Yeah.
Like, it was an absolute shootout at the back end of the season. And the Broncos ended our season in Townsville. It was a whole thing. We've still got PTSD about it. It's a whole thing. The Cows can make the 8. It's ridiculous to think that they can't make the 8 in this league. Yeah, I got them 4 to 8. There's too many good players. And Toddy, like, I see people saying Todd's under pressure. He won Dally M Coach of the Year 2 years ago. What are we talking about? Like, what's going on? So I got them 4-8.
4-8. Yeah, I don't
What
mind
about you?
I've probably got them in that 6 to 10 sort of
Yeah.
bracket.
Yeah.
But I am like, it will not shock me in the slightest if we get to September and they're a top 4 team. Like they've got a squad to do it. I think this year, man, like without going too far out of the North Queensland Cowboys, I just think of the top 8 teams, I think all of them have good enough squads to play top 8 again, except Canberra.
Yep.
But then I think that South Sydney, North Queensland have probably better squads than some of the teams that are already in there. Manly get Turbo back. Titans improve. Like, I keep going, they should make the 8. And all of a sudden I've got 14 fucking teams that should make the 8.
Yeah.
It's insane. And a team like South Sydney doesn't make it last year.
Mental.
The Roosters get in by fucking skin of their ball sack. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, whoever's doing louder predictions this year, God bless you.
Yeah, no
thanks. Did that feature somewhere in that 8 hour?
Oh, we did brackets. And I tell you what, God help the poor soul out there that decides to listen to every bracket I said, because I guarantee you it doesn't add up to an even 17 in all my brackets. Tough thing was, between teams, there was a 2-hour gap. So
I promise you someone has already shifted
I
through
kind of
it.
hope so. I want to see how stupid it looks. My top 8 would have been my sort of 5 to 9 deep.
Yeah.
Would have had half the league in it without a fucking doubt.
It's tough this time of year saying anyone's not going to make the 8 because they're all training the house down. So.
Yeah, everyone's training the house down. All right, mate. Thank you for joining us once again. Congratulations on everything you're doing up there in the north, mate. It is unreal. Great to see it all coming together for you. Are you still seeing the Brew and Beers boys?
Yeah, absolutely. I was down in Brizzy the other day. They got desks now at the Caxton Hotel. I was working at the Caxton Hotel at a desk the other day. Clutzy was farting and stuff. It was a whole big thing. But yeah, I'm still hanging out with those boys every time I go to Brizzy. It's good fun. Just let me know when you want me to come back down and do the Blackhawks season preview.
Preview, yeah, sure. Bring a pitchfork with you. Magic round this year?
Oh yeah.
Good.
When I signed my contract, I booked it off. Like I'm MIA for that weekend, and I'll see if the boys need me to shoot something with a camera that weekend. But hopefully, it's just getting a bit rogue. You going?
Yeah, I was saying to Maddie the other day, like I'm so excited for it, and I also said to Maddie, I was like, there's a good chance I don't see a game of football.
I'm only buying Saturday tickets.
I'm not buying tickets.
And there's a good chance that I'm not going on Saturday.
I plan to be at the Caxton. I plan not to leave. I can't wait. So fucking excited for it.
It's good to touch home base every now and then of rugby league, the rugby league home base.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us once again, mate. Go socials, TikTok, everything, plug away.
Donny Sports on everything, or you can listen to me every morning from 5:30 to 9 on the iHeartRadio app on Power 100. Isn't that a weird thing to say?
How you finding the mornings?
Love it.
Yeah.
I get home by 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's spectacular.
Yeah,
so you got all this time in the afternoon. Normally crash out by about 7:30 at night, but that's all right.
That's all right.
No, mornings are fine.
How good. All right. Thanks for joining us once again, guys. We'll be back in the next couple of days. I think we're going to have the West Tigers with a very, very special guest joining us once again next week. So, our next episode, that'll be good fun. Thanks to everyone that got out and got their paws on the Kangaroo merch. That was fantastic. Hope to see some of you over there in LV. And all of you that aren't coming along, you can enjoy at home. You going to grab yourself one on the way out or what?
Yeah. Who do I pay? How does that work?
I'll invoice you. Don't worry. I'll come for you. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. The West Tigers, Best 17 for 2024.